Want to work with the pandas, we want to import pandas library as an PD. PD is the alias name for pandas. Whatever may be the functions you want to access related to pandas, we have to use either pandas.functionName or pd.functionName. So first we are going to import that. For creating the series pd.series, I'll be taking the index with the different subjects: physics, maths, chemistry, Telugu, Hindi, social. It's a data. We are going to be create the data for that, and we are going to be get the index as by default 0, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to be get the d type as object here because we have passed as an argument. The index we didn't provide anything by default. It is going to be start with the index 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on till how many values we have. So we can able to provide the index as well uh, as per our requirement. Just I'll take that series s2 pd dot series. Series is a function which is useful for creating series object, and I am giving index equivalent to this particular value, otherwise we'll be getting the error. So total 6 index we need to give. If we're not giving any index by default, it is going to start with 0. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Now we'll be getting this index. This is a value. This is a values we have. See, with the help of this series, we are having different methods for accessing this. Methods on. So first we have head method. Head method. What is the purpose of using head method? Top 5 rows or top 2 rows, top 3 rows, like that. If you want to access the values from the series, we are going to be use the head. By default, which is used to access top 5 rows from a series, or else head of n innocence, top n rows from the series object is going to be displayed for us. Now, if you see here in the series object, that is S2 will be having 6 records, when we are giving S2 dot S2 dot head, we'll be getting top 5 records only. Top 5 rows of data we are going to be get. S2 dot head of 2 innocence, only top 2 we are going to be get. Access top 5 rows from top 5 rows from series object. By default, as we didn't mention any arguments for it. Here, access top 2 rows from series object, that is S2. Now, we know that in the series object we'll be having only 6 records. I would like to access top 10. So we'll be getting like this. So even though we are accessing 10 records from the top of the table, from the top of the series, we will be having only 6 rows of data in the series object. It is going to be accessed till 6 only. Opposite to head will be having tail. So here by default, which is used to access top last 5 rows from series object. I am providing tail of n used to access last n rows from series object. Last n rows from series object. If you see, we are going to be access S2 object, S2 series object, whatever the values we have that we are accessing. And next here, S2 dot tail of 5, last 5 it is going to be get. Because of that, it is going to be start with day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 6. Next, S2 dot tail of 2 innocence will be getting day 5, 6. Last 2 rows only it is going to be accessed. S2 dot tail of -2, if I'm giving, what will be getting here? So except top remaining all it is going to be get. Except top remaining all it is going to be get. Except top remaining rest of the rows from the last in series object be displayed. Even S2 dot head of -2. Except last 2, everything it is going to be get. Except last 2. Rest of the rows from the last, from beginning series object will be displayed for us. So I'm giving head of -10. It will leaves last 10 elements and it will display. We have taken in this particular series object, we have 6 rows of data. Because of that, we'll be getting as empty series object. So here, how we can able to create? If I'm giving +10 or here, till how many rows we have, that many it is going to be accessed. Remaining it is going to be display. I mean, how many elements we have, how many rows of data we have, that only we are going to get. S2 dot head of 10. So as we have 10 records or 10 rows, we have only 6 records. Those 6 records will be accessible even though if I'm giving 10 as index here. Now accessing the elements from the series object. Accessing elements from series object using index. So if I'm providing the index name, automatically it is going to be get S2 of day 3. We are going to be get S2 of day 3. So we don't have day 3 index in our series object. Day 3 index is not available in series object. So we'll get error. So what is that error we'll be getting here is day 3 key error, because we are accessing that the help of index, that index is not available over here. If we want to access more than one index, so S2 of day 3, day 5, so whatever may be the indexes it required for us, then we can able to access those. Day 5 it is going to be. See, LOC is one of the function we have. The purpose of using LOC is for accessing the elements or for accessing the rows of the series object with the help of label. Accessing the rows series object with the help of the labels. LOC of S2.LOC A4 comma A5 so we'll be providing colon here so that it will be accessed from day 4 and day 5. So here both the indexes also will be included. Day 4, day 5 also we are going to be get. If you see here S2.LOC day 2 colon day 4. So day 2, day 3, day 4 also we are going to be accessed. Whatever it may be the range we are specifying here, the beginning and as well as ending, in between whatever we have, that labels also it is going to be accessed. ILOC, that is, even though we have the index over here day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, but we are going to be access that rows with the help of index, which will be considered from 0 to and all 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Colon 5, colon 5 innocence which will be starts from end with 4 only. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. See, now S2 we are going to be considered here as this one. Even though we have the index here, even though if we have the index over here, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, which is going to be starts with a 0. This is going to be considered here starting with a 0. This is 0, 1, 2. So like this, 3, 4, 5, like this. So whenever we are giving 2 5 in a sense, 2 to 5, 5 minus 1, 2 to 4 only it is to take. So 2 to 4 it has to take, like day 3, day 4, day 5. Like this, they are going to be accessed. IL is a function which is used for accessing the elements or the rows of series object with the help of numerical index only, but not the label index. Label index in the sense we have given the index over here as day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So if I am using LOC from the specified label to the specified label, including both the ranges, it is going to be accessed. But whereas ILOC, which is going to start with the uh, beginning position till n minus 1 position, it is going to be accessed for us. Till n minus 1 it is going to be accessed for us. That is the purpose of using, that is the purpose of this LOC and ILOC. And next we have creating empty series object. Creating empty series object. Let me consider S is the series object, PD dot series. Just I'm not passing any data or index or date type. By default, it is going to be considered as series as empty. So we are getting this empty series object. We are getting this empty series object. There is no value. Empty list is going to be accessed here. Empty list is going to be accessed here. So if you see, we are getting empty object. There is no values in the specified location. Now, S2 is a series where we'll be having this physics, math, chemistry, Telugu, social as data, and the index as day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. We have some series attributes. We'll discuss about that series attributes. So first T we have. What is the purpose of using this T? Which will make the transpose. Returns the transpose. So we can able to see this transpose clearly with data frame where we have rows and columns. That rows and columns is going to be interchanged. T is nothing but transpose. Transpose is nothing but rows will becomes as columns. Columns becomes as rows. Yes. Dot access index, it is going to be U for us. Index is going to be for us as the list. The purpose of using access attribute is, the purpose of using access attribute is, which is going to be written a list of row access labels. This is day 1, day 2, day 3. These are all the indexes or labels which has been specified in this. And NaN we have not a number, or we can also say not any number. So when we have this, to know whether NaNs are there or not, we have has NaNs. So it is going to return true, if the series has NaN values, otherwise false. So now S2 dot has NaNs, if I'm giving, it is going to be give false, because S2 does not have any NaN value. S2 does not have any NaN value. So I'll be creating one series object, pd dot series will be passing the values like 10, 20, 30, 40, 40. So here access innocence will be getting row label and as well as column label. Row label will be considered as index, column label will be considered as columns. But we have a series, will be having only indexes, we do not have columns. We do not have columns. As NaNs, we don't have NaN values in the S2 series object. Because of that, will be getting false. So here we have NaN value. Here we have NaN value, not a number. So now S3 dot has NaNs will be getting as true. S3 dot has NaNs will be getting true. So because here we have NaN value, because of that only it is going to be. If there is no NaN values in the series object, it is going to give false. Now, next attribute we have D type. The purpose of the D type is to return the D type of the object. Now, S3 dot D type float 64, S2 dot D type will be getting as object. D type as object. So we will return D type object of the underlying data. D type of the underlying data. So that we are going to be get here. This data type of that particular data what we have in the series object. Now, series is a one-dimensional data structure, we can say, where we'll be having one dimension, and we have endim is the attribute used to get the number of dimensions. Number of dimensions of the underlying data. See, S2 dot endim, whatever it may be the series object we are giving with the endim attribute, it is going to be give as 1. S3 if I'm giving 1 only. S is the empty object if I'm giving 1 only. So we'll be having only one dimension. The series is a one-dimensional data structure where it will be having 1. To return the name of the object, name of the series object, we have name. Use it to return name of the not getting the name. How many bytes it is going to be accessed? N bytes we have. Total 48 bytes of data we are going to be get here. Total 48 bytes of data. n bytes used to return the number of bytes the underlying data. Next, we have shape. The purpose of using shape is we are going to be get the number of elements what we have in a tuple. See, usually it is going to be written in the tuple. So where will be having comma? Before comma will be having how many values we have in a row, how many values we have in a column. After the comma will be represents. As series is the uh, only will be having rows. How many rows we have? That rows values we are going to be get in this particular one. See here, shape used to return a tuple of the shape underlying data. Shape of the underlying data. S2 dot shape. 6 rows we have 6 comma. 6 rows we have 6 comma. S3 dot shape. 5 rows we have 5 comma. Size. S2 dot size we have, which is for getting total number of elements. Size is a attribute which is useful for getting size is attribute used to return the number of elements in the underlying data. So whatever the data we have in the series of. What the values we have? S2 dot values. So these are all the values we have in this series object. Used to return series as nd array or nd array like data we are going to be get here. This is our array. So what is the d type and what is the values we have? That all it is going to be display for us. We can display with the index also. Index in the sense the row labels only it is going to be display for us. These are all the attributes what we have with the series object.